whenever you guys are ready.
Okay.
Ready?
Should we do this?
Let's do this.
Great.
Okay, so welcome to Raise. Should we cheers?
Oh yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
Cool.
Coming up on this episode of Raise.
Raise is a podcast for fundraisers by fundraisers. So we both
Absolutely.
are senior leaders in the fundraising sector. We've been in this.
What's a mentor? How do I get a mentor? How do I build a team? I'm feeling imposter syndrome and I don't know how to get past it. Should I get past it? How do you get past it?
Yeah, every single day we're getting thrown like more and more challenges being in the charity sector against the private sector. You love Taylor Swift.
I do love Taylor Swift,
Like-
and that
like a
did
lot.
bond us.
It did from like day one.
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice lattes and Taylor Swift. Welcome to Raise.
I'm really excited.
I'm really excited. So this is our very first podcast, but this is also the very first time we're introducing Raise to the world. And yeah, I think it's incredible that we're here today. So I'm Christine and I'm joined with Sian.
I don't know why that was so awkward, but I'm going to roll with it.
I think I forget that other people don't know us because obviously...
Because you decided that you're so big in the sector that everybody should know who you are.
I've just decided that we're so loud that people must have heard about us.
I think that's fair.
So, yeah. So, Sian, we started talking about doing this podcast over 2 years ago.
I think so. I feel like it's been one of those things that we've come back to so many times.
Yeah.
And then we've just decided to bite the bullet and dive in and give this a go. And I've clearly decided to match the pillow today as
I
well.
love
You know,
it.
just real for like,
Love it.
really diving in for
I mean, I'm
this.
in a similar color palette. I think I've
Yeah.
got some olive green.
Love to think that we planned this. But
Yeah. You know, coordination. So, Raise is a podcast for fundraisers by fundraisers. So, we both
Absolutely.
are senior leaders in the fundraising sector. We've been in this place for a really long time. And we really felt like from so many conversations, the thing that we didn't have was a space to have good mentoring conversations, good coaching conversations. The idea of those things felt really alien to so many teams that we were building. So that's kind of the catalyst, I think, for all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things we keep coming back to is that we just wanted somewhere really safe to kind of explore and mess up and grow and learn and develop and to ask those questions that you feel really, really silly asking somebody else, but actually are really important. And like, what's a mentor? How do I get a mentor? How do I build a team? I'm feeling imposter syndrome and I don't know how to get past it. Should I get past it? How do you get past,
Yeah.
everything that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And like, it's the kind of stuff that we talk about down the pub. And that's kind of where the concept for this came from.
Right. So should we tell people actually who we are? Because we've
Absolutely.
assumed, obviously, that people should know who we are, but that's clearly not the case because
Absolutely.
we both have a long way to go. So Sian, you and I work together, which obviously I think you'll say this about me and I'll say it about you, highlights of careers, but we worked together
Absolutely.
for about 2 years. But before that, so you've worked in the charity sector for 14 years?
I think you just aged me at 12.
12. Okay, sorry. I apologize. 12 years. But you're also the only person I've ever met who went to university knowing that they wanted to be a charity fundraiser.
Yeah.
Which I think is incredible. I also have never seen anybody take a baked bean bath before until I saw photographic evidence from when you did that.
I feel like that's a really important thing people should get when they first meet me is a photo of me in a bean bath.
Yeah, I feel like that works. But outside of wanting to be a fundraiser from the time that you went to university, which I think is such an incredible thing, and really kind of being a huge champion of supporters and supporter voices and being so audience centric in your approach to everything, whether that is baked bean baths, as we've said, or incredible experiences for London marathons or any type of sort of raffle and public fundraising space. You've been a senior leader in a number of different organizations. You've built teams from scratch. You've come into failing teams and turned them around and led some really tough situations. And I think that is some of the best experience that you can really have in this space, because every single day we're getting thrown like more and more challenges being in the charity sector against the private sector. And also, I think most importantly, you love Taylor Swift.
I do love Taylor Swift,
Like-
and that
like a
did
lot.
bond us.
It did from like day one.
Yeah,
Pumpkin spice lattes and Taylor Swift
and The West Wing
and wine.
and wine.
So
Good crossovers.
good crossovers to have. Yeah. So wait, should we cheers?
Oh yeah, let's cheers. Okay, cool. So I'm going to introduce you. Like Christine said, we worked together, and we don't work together anymore, and it's really sad.
It is.
Actually, I genuinely miss working with you every day.
Well, you know, it is because it was the highlight of your career.
It always is the highlight of my career.
Yeah.
It will, there's nothing that can top it.
Sure.
I might as well just jack this all in now, to be honest.
That's
Can't
really
ever-
awkward rest of the podcast, isn't
Cool.
it?
So back to your Hinge profile,
Okay.
not to, bring you back on track or anything, but so Christine's been in the sector for 14 years.
Yeah.
You've got a background in high value fundraising, philanthropy and trust and grants and all of that incredible good stuff. You've been a fundraising leader for a good 7 or so years
Yeah,
now.
a while now.
A hot minute. And I think one of the really big things that stood out to me when we started working together was just this incredible culture that you created around learning and development and growth, and this real psychological safety within teams. Outside of managing me, though,
I mean, this is such a love fest.
I know,
feel like
tell me
my
about it.
self-esteem is just like top tier right now.
that was my plan. Outside of obviously, managing me, you love horse riding and the West Wing and Taylor Swift and wine and all of these things that we've
All of
talked
the
about,
important things.
and your gorgeous dog Cooper and long walks on the beach. And this definitely does now sound like a dating
Oh my
profile.
God, it really does. And I like all of those things. So, but this is such a love fest. I love it. I'm really blushing. I feel really awkward. So I think we should talk about why we want to do Raise and why
think
now
we
is
should.
so important. And I think part of this really stems from the fact that every single day, and I alluded to this earlier, but, just this week we heard about 3 charities closing.
Yeah.
Like, it is tough out there. It is tough to raise money. Targets are getting higher and higher. The markets that we can go to are getting smaller and smaller. The social media that we use to engage people, or the high net worth individuals that we're trying to network through, the technology is constantly shifting. What they're looking for changes. How we interact with them is constantly changing. And amongst all of that, you then are trying to navigate developing your career, like getting external coaching, like trying to learn from different places. And it's bloody hard. Like, it's not easy. And we don't create any way of making that easier
Yeah.
either.
And I think oftentimes we have a very formal approach to growing and developing. And I think there's a huge place for courses and training and coaching. And I think all of those things are really important. And I know that they've certainly helped me grow and develop in my career. But actually, when I look back on it, the bits that have been really pivotal and the bits that I've come away going, oh my gosh, I feel so much clearer now, or I really get this, or I feel like I can go out and own this piece of work now, is when I've gone and grabbed a glass of wine with people after work in the sector who I really respect or who've taken time to coach or mentor me. And we've had those really informal chats where you can pick someone's brain and say, hey, I'm really struggling with this. Can you help?
Yeah.
Um,
It's definitely when you can do like the really crunchy conversations.
yeah.
Right. And you kind of create like Chatham House rules.
Yeah.
Where you're able to really kind of be like, right, this is actually the situation. Like, whether it's internal politics or the pedanticism of something or communication or whatever it is, but you kind of just get to like pull all of those layers back and like really get to the crux of it. And if anybody else has dealt with it, because often in all the organizations I worked in, and I don't know if this is the same for you, but every single one, the problems are basically exactly the same.
Yeah.
They're just wrapped differently.
Yeah, but sometimes it can feel really lonely
Yeah.
because you think you're the only person experiencing this.
Yeah.
Or you think you're the only person struggling with it. But that's where this idea came from. And that's what we want this to feel like. You come and grab a drink with us after work.
Yeah.
We are going to tackle some really, really crunchy conversations.
Yeah.
This place is going to be authentic. It's going to be real. We are going to own up to some of our mistakes. We are going to make mistakes. We are going to learn and grow.
Yeah. Also, because we have no idea what we're doing right now. By the way.
We have never done this before.
Not a clue. Other than the drinking the wine part, should we talk about
We
that?
are really good at the drinking of the wine.
So, sorry, disclaimer, we're not suggesting that anybody take up drinking wine because you work in the charity sector. Not promoting alcoholism, not a good thing. But what part of Raise, right, is that we are raising, it's on our little cue cards that you had made. This is cute. Raising money, voices, and glasses.
Yeah.
So the glasses bit's really important because that's that camaraderie part.
yeah.
And so tonight, to start us, we're drinking an organic Pinot Grigio from Ocado.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So it's carbon neutral. So it's good for the environment and it's vegan friendly.
Love it. And this is what we're going to be asking our guests to be doing. So each week we are going to tackle a different topic, which is really exciting. We've got an idea of what we think those topics are going to be, but we would love to hear from you. Like, we really want this to be relevant. We want this to work for people. We want it to be the resource that you come to. You're like, oh gosh, I really need some help in this space. But we are going to ask our guests to bring on their favorite tipple with them, or non-alcoholic options, whatever they would like. But to come and grab a drink with us, chat stuff through, and we're going to bring you along on that journey with us.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because, quite frankly, I don't think that I'm ever done in my development. So I'm really using this as like, hey, I want some more help too in the things that I'm doing.
And I know I'm definitely not done. I have got so much more to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to get stuck into this, I think.
Yeah.
And for us, this is part of you and me growing, right?
Yeah. And I think, but it's also part of growing the next generation of the sector, right? Yeah. So we're going to bring on guests we've talked about that are really amazing. But they're going to be from every part of the sector, consultants to fundraising directors or CEOs. We're going to talk to people who are trustees, who are much more junior in their career and just starting out and navigating that space. We really want this to be a place of amplification of voices.
Yeah.
And very much real life stories. Also, as we said, this is about a conversation around the pub. So we're not going to keep you for a really, really long time every single episode because whether you're going to a donor meeting or commuting in because it's an office day or anything in between, it's these like bite-sized moments.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the really big things when we've been talking about Raise and what that is going to look like moving forward is that we want this to be more than a podcast.
Yeah.
So this is about fundraisers supporting fundraisers. It's about creating a community where we can come together, learn together, talk together, have those safe conversations with each other, where you just feel like authentically you can bring your whole self and there's no judgment in the space.
So if you guys liked what you've heard today, you need to like, follow, subscribe.
You can find us on Instagram. You can also check us out on our website. But please do share this with your colleagues, with people you think who might be interested in the sector, with your team, whoever you think just might want to kind of be part of this. Like, this is more than just a podcast. We want this to be a movement. We want this to be part of fundraisers supporting fundraisers. And it's really important that you come along on this journey with us.
And just so you know, on Instagram, we are at Raise Charity Pod. That's our handle. So follow us there. Our website will be down below in the show notes. So please go check us out there as well, because we're really looking forward to getting to know you so you can get to know us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been Raise, and join us to keep raising the bar.
Exactly. We're raising money, voices, and glasses.
Cheers. Cheers.
Okay, that felt really awkward.